Hello and welcome to Lost Love Chronicles.
Dear listeners, before we get started, drop a quick hi in the comments and let us know where you're tuning in from. Also, if you have any suggestions for us to make the channel better, please let us know. Now let's start with the story. I'm Waylon. Been married for 19 years. Built my construction business from the damn ground up. Me, a hammer, and a beat-up truck. Now, it's a company worth several million. I didn't inherit anything, didn't get a head start. Just sweat, dirt, and long hours. Avery, my wife, stayed home to raise our 2 kids. Billy's 17, about to be a man. Me is 15, full of fire. From the outside, we look like the damn American dream. Sunday dinners, family vacations, matching flannel Christmas photos. The whole package. 2 years ago, small things started bugging me. Avery joined a gym, said it was for mental clarity. Okay, fair enough. But then she started dressing different. Not trashy or anything. Just more put together. Makeup done for grocery runs. Little things. She stopped wearing the old sweatpants I used to tease her about. Replaced them with leggings, tight tops. I chalked it up to her trying to reclaim herself, maybe shake off the mom routine. I respected that. I really did. Colton, my younger brother, started swinging by more often. Said it was about work, project timelines, permit issues, budget tweaks, but we'd already hashed most of that out during the day. He'd show up after hours. Say, just wanted to double-check something. And stick around for coffee. Sometimes Avery would be laughing with him when I walked in. Sometimes it would get real quiet. And the kids, they started acting off too. Conversations stopped when I entered the room. Whispered stuff. I'd ask, what's going on? And it'd be, oh nothing, or just school drama, Dad. I told myself they were teenagers being teenagers. They grow secretive. That's part of it, right? I should have paid more attention. I see that now. But I had a company to run. Payroll, contracts, supplier issues. Money doesn't make itself. And I trusted them. I loved them. That was my blind spot. 2 weeks ago, Billy asked to borrow my AirPods. Said he lost his. I went into his room to grab them. I'd seen them on his desk the day before. While I was rummaging through the clutter, I knocked over a stack of books. They spilled everywhere, and behind them, like it had been deliberately hidden, was an old iPhone. Not his current one. One of those older models, with a chipped case. I should have just set it back where I found it. But something about it, it felt wrong. Like it didn't belong there. I pressed the power button. It lit up. Still had battery. No passcode. And that's when everything unraveled. Messages. Hundreds of them. Between Avery and Colton. Going back 2 damn years. Photos. Love notes. Plans. My name. So many mentions of me. Avery, he's always so busy. Doesn't even notice when I change my hair. Colton, that's because he doesn't see you. I do. Always have. Avery, he thinks I'm going through some phase. It's easier that way. Colton, one day, we'll be able to wake up next to each other and not worry about hiding. He won't be an issue forever. I scrolled and scrolled until my hands were shaking. Avery, Waylon's the obstacle. He always has been. There were hundreds of photos. In my bed. In his apartment. In my office at the job site. Pictures of them together like it was some secret romance movie. Except the joke was on me. They weren't just sneaking around. They were flaunting it. On my turf. On my sheets. But none of that was the worst part. The worst part, the part that hollowed me out, was the messages with my kids. Billy and Mia. My flesh and blood. The 2 people I'd worked my butt off for. Built the business for. Stayed up late for. Woke up early for. They knew. They'd known for over a year. And they didn't just know. They were helping. Billy would delete the doorbell cam footage anytime Colton showed up while I was away. Whole sequences gone. Gaps I hadn't noticed. Mia? She was running interference. Alibis. Fake practice times. Yeah, Dad. Mom was at my practice until 6 o'clock. Timestamp on the messages said Avery was getting railed by Colton at 4:30. They had a system. Code words. Warning signals. Stuff like, Billy, Dad just pulled into the subdivision. Mia, stall him if he calls. Say I left something at school. My own children were the lookout crew for their mother's affair with their uncle. I sat there on Billy's bedroom floor for an hour. Scrolling. Reading. Capturing every message with my phone. Not to confront them, just to have it. Evidence. A record of the life I didn't know I'd been living. My hands weren't shaking. I wasn't crying. I felt nothing. It was like I was reading about someone else's life. Some poor scumsucker who never saw it coming. When I finally stood up, I placed the old phone back exactly where I found it. Tucked behind the books like nothing ever happened. Then I walked downstairs. Avery was in the kitchen, humming to herself, stirring a pot on the stove. Colton was at the table, kicked back, drinking one of my beers. Billy and Mia were at the dining table, doing homework. Picture perfect, right? Hey babe, Avery said, smiling like the world was made of sunshine. Dinner's almost ready. I smiled back, kissed her on the cheek. grabbed a beer from the fridge, walked over, and sat next to Colton. "How was work today?" he asked, like we were still brothers. Like we were still us. "Good," I said. "Real good. We ate dinner together. Talked about normal shit. Weekend plans. Billy's graduation. Mia's school play. Just a normal family dinner. Except now I knew. Every smile was fake. Every laugh was a lie. Every love you too, Dad. Total BS. That night, Avery tried to initiate sex. First time in months. She came out of the shower wearing one of those old silk robes she used to wear when we first got married. Slid into bed, pressed up against me like nothing was wrong. She whispered, "I've missed this, Waylon." I told her I had a headache. A headache. "Never again, bitch." I laid there on my side, staring at the wall while she curled up with her head on my chest like we were still something. All I could think about was how many times Colton had been in this bed. In our bed. While I was out working. Building this life. She fell asleep. Peaceful. I stared at the ceiling till dawn. Not moving. Not blinking. Just planning. I could have confronted them right away, but what was the use? They could cry, lie, gaslight me. They could flip the script, make me out to be the crazy one. Not falling for that. When you strike once. And you make it count. I've met with 3 different divorce attorneys. Shook hands, listened, took notes. Settled on the one I call the shark. Guy looks like he eats people for breakfast and flosses with prenups. Turns out, in my state, adultery still matters in court. Big time. Those photos I took. Gold. Every one of them time-stamped, location tagged. Even better? Colton is my employee. He used company property for the affair, work truck, company phone. That's going to sing in court. So I've been playing the long game. First thing I did, paid off every joint credit card. All of them. Then closed them. Next, I rerouted my direct deposit into a brand new individual account. One she doesn't know about. Started shifting money. Investing heavily, as I told her. But really, I've been moving large chunks into my buddy's business under the guise of legitimate loans. Paperwork and all. I sold the boat. Sold the motorcycle. Told Avery, "Honey, I think we should be more financially responsible. Economy's about to dip." She nodded. "Whatever makes you feel secure, babe." Yeah, I bet she's supportive. Less debt for her to worry about when she monkey branches to Colton. I promoted my foreman to handle the day-to-day side operations. Quietly, efficiently. Then I gave Colton a promotion too. Fancy title, fake responsibilities. All just busy work. Started documenting every screw-up he makes. And there are many. I set up an LLC in another state for my new investment opportunity. Kept it quiet, off the books, clean. Different name, different everything. No paper trail Avery could follow. Not that she'd try. She still thinks I'm going through a financial panic. Home life. Still playing the part. Perfect husband. Devoted dad. Family dinners. Joking around with Colton like I don't want to put him through a wall. Still sleeping with Avery. But no sex. I am now officially tired. Got tested. I'm clean, thankfully. One less thing to worry about. I help the kids with homework. Compliment their projects. Nod at their stories like I'm actually listening. Smile in photos. The Oscar goes to me, bitch. Billy tried to probe once. Caught me off guard a little. "Dad?" he said, kind of hesitant. "You seem different lately. Everything okay?" I smiled. Calm. Measured. "Just work stress, buddy. Nothing for you to worry about." He gave a look to Mia across the room. Quick. Like a signal. They probably think I'm starting to figure it out. Good. Let them sweat a little. The house is the big piece. Worth around $800,000. Fully paid off. Found a cash buyer through a friend of a friend. Guy who doesn't mind a quiet deal. He's willing to work with my timeline. No questions asked. Told Avery I bumped into him at the golf course, and he made me an offer too good to pass up. "We can downsize," I said. "Invest the profits. Think long-term, you know? About our future." She hesitated, played the sentimental card. "This is our family home." Yeah, a family home built on lies and betrayal. But I smiled. "I get it," I said. "But maybe it's time for a fresh start. Clean slate." Eventually, she agreed. We signed the initial paperwork. Closing is in 30 days. She thinks we're going house hunting next week. We're not. Colton stopped by yesterday. Beer in hand like always. "Hey man, you sure about selling? This place has so many memories." "Yeah, like the memory of you screwing my wife in my bed." I looked him in the eye and said, "Sometimes you gotta let go of the past to move forward." He actually patted me on the shoulder. "That's deep, bro. 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks of this charade. Then I burn it all down. And for those worried about the kids, save it. They made their choice. They chose to lie to me. To help her. They're old enough to know right from wrong. They picked their side. Now they get to live with it. Everything's in place. I've been living a double life for 6 weeks now, and I've gotten damn good at it. By day, I'm the stressed but loving husband. At night, I've been building a whole new life. I found a killer apartment in a city 2,000 miles away. Signed the lease under my new LLC. Already furnished it. Clean, modern, quiet. No trace of my old life. Already lined up a job site too. Big commercial project. One that'll keep me busy for months. New bank accounts. New phone plan. New everything. I even joined a gym out there already. Fresh start means full reset. I don't want a single thread connecting me to this version of my life once I walk out. The house closes next week. Avery thinks we're moving into a rental while we search for our dream home. I told her the housing market's too unpredictable, and we should be smart. Liquidate high, buy low later. She bought it. I've been packing strategically, one box at a time. Slow, methodical. All my important stuff is already gone. Shipped to the new place weeks ago. She hasn't noticed. Because I replace everything. The photo albums? Scanned and uploaded. Originals, gone. My grandfather's watch. She thinks I'm wearing it. I'm not. That's a replica from a custom jeweler. The real one's locked up in my new safe 2,000 miles away. Tools? Already bought duplicates for the new shop. The business, that was the trickiest part. Couldn't just shut it down. Would have raised every red flag possible. So I did something smarter. Promoted Colton to operations director. Gave him a fancy title and a small raise. Fed his ego. Lot more responsibility. And with that, liability. Had my lawyer draft up contracts that make him personally liable for any major screw-ups. And I've been documenting those screw-ups too. His drinking on the job? Yeah, that's a thing now. Slurred voicemails. Missed deadlines. Showing up late, hungover. All neatly stored and time-stamped. I also transferred 60% ownership to my foreman. Legitimate sale. Will close after I'm gone. The guy's been with me for 15 years. Loyal. Hard worker. Deserves it more than anyone. The other 40%? Still mine. But it's structured through the LLC. I'm a silent partner now. Income without involvement. The kids. This is where some of you will probably hate me. But I don't give a shit. They're getting exactly what they deserve. Reality. Billy's college fund. It was in my name only. He doesn't know that. Thinks it's some automatic thing. I liquidated it. He'll find out when he tries to access it for tuition. Mia's car? The one I was going to surprise her with for her 16th birthday? Not happening. The credit cards I pay for. All their little luxuries, snacks, shopping sprees, Ubers? Cutting those off the day I leave. They wanted to play adult games? Fine. They can enjoy their adult prizes. The twist. Here's something I haven't mentioned yet. Colton's wife. She doesn't know. Sweet woman. Genuinely good person. The kind who bakes cookies for the crew and still sends handwritten thank you notes. Married to a cheating piece of shit, just like I am. So, I prepared a package for her too. Everything. Every photo. Every message. Every timestamp. All neatly organized. Digital copies. Printed backups. She deserves to know exactly what kind of man she's sharing her bed with. That package gets delivered the day after I leave. The plan? I'm leaving for a business trip tomorrow morning. Early flight. Nothing suspicious. I'll kiss Avery goodbye. Hug my kids. Shake Colton's hand when he stops by for our weekly meeting. He's always early on Fridays, like clockwork. Normal goodbyes. For what they think is a normal trip. Except I've already shipped my luggage. I'll be traveling with just a backpack. New life starts with less baggage, literally. The folder will be on the kitchen table when Avery wakes up. Inside, divorce papers. Printed screenshots of every message. Financial statements showing all the legal moves I've made. A USB drive with even more evidence. No long letter. No explanation. Just a yellow sticky note on top. I know everything. Do not contact me. Communicate through lawyers only. My phone. It'll be in the kitchen drawer. Factory reset. New number is already active. New plan. New device. By the time they read the note, I'll be 30,000 feet in the air. The aftermath. My lawyer will handle everything. The house sale? It's locked in. Can't stop it now. The divorce? With the evidence I've compiled, it'll be straightforward. Fast. Precise. Devastating. Colton. He'll get his termination letter via certified mail, along with a notice. Any attempt to contest it will result in criminal charges for embezzlement. Why? Because he used company property, truck, phone, job site access, for personal activities. And I've got receipts. The kids. They'll figure it out when Avery can't pay for their shit anymore. When the college funds are gone. When Mia realizes her dream car isn't coming. When Billy tries to log into his tuition portal and finds an empty screen. When it all falls apart and they realize. Dad's not the pathetic sucker they thought he was. Some of you will say I'm being too harsh on the kids. That they were manipulated. That they're just teenagers. Well, screw you. Billy's months away from being a legal adult. He's old enough to know what loyalty means. And my daughter? She made conscious choices every single day to lie to my face. They knew it was wrong. That's why they hid it. They chose their mother. They chose their uncle. They chose deception. Now they get to live with those choices. A few hours from now, I'll be in my new apartment, in my new city, starting my new life. And they'll be knee-deep in the shitstorm they created. I built my life from nothing once. I'll do it again. But this time, no snakes in my house. Day of the flight. Landed at noon. By 12:30, I had 18 missed calls from various numbers. Avery, Billy, unknowns. Didn't answer a single one. By evening, the shit had officially hit every fan. According to my lawyer, Avery found the folder around 7 a.m., right as she was making her morning coffee. She called him, screaming, crying, full meltdown, demanded to know where I was. He gave her the practice line. Calm, clear, no wiggle room. Mr. Wayland Smith has retained me for this dissolution. All communication goes through me. He will not be responding to any attempts at direct contact. Boom. By 8 a.m., Colton showed up at the house. Apparently, there was a massive fight. Screaming, yelling, cursing. Neighbors heard it all. Cops were called. Beautiful. The kids? Billy tried to access his college fund that afternoon. Wanted to put a deposit down for his dorm. Surprise, shithead. Accounts? Empty. Mia? She couldn't even buy lunch at school. Her card declined at the cafeteria. Welcome to the real world, princess. My old phone was lighting up so much I had to shut it off. Felt like it was going to melt through my bag. Good thing the new number only went to 3 people. My lawyer, my foreman, my new property manager. That's it. No one else. But here's where it gets really interesting. Colton's wife got the package. She didn't just leave him. She went full scorched earth. Posted everything on Facebook. Photos, screenshots, timeline. Tagged everyone. Colton, Avery, mutual friends. The whole town knew within hours. Avery tried to do damage control. Posted some desperate bullshit about going through a difficult time, and please respect our privacy. Yeah, that went over about as well as you'd expect when everyone's already seen your nudes with your brother-in-law. Colton actually had the balls to show up at the job site the next morning like nothing happened. Rolled in late, coffee in hand, acting like Mr. Executive. My foreman, now the majority owner, met him at the gate. Turn around, Colton. You're done here. What? What are you talking about? Security was already waiting. He tried to argue. This is a mistake. I'm the operations director. Was, my foreman said. You were. Now you're trespassing. They escorted him out like a drunk uncle at a wedding. He tried to file a wrongful termination claim. My company lawyer shut that down in 5 minutes flat. Misuse of company property. Company phone, truck, time. All logged, all documented. The dumbass is lucky we didn't press charges. The best part? He'd been bragging about his promotion to everyone. Walking around like he was the next big CEO. Took out loans based on his executive salary. Now, unemployed, divorced, in debt. You love to see it. The kids. This is where people love to clutch their pearls and call me heartless. Don't care. Billy had to scramble for student loans. Turns out when daddy isn't footing the bill, that full ride to state looks a lot more expensive. He couldn't swing it. Ended up settling for community college. Mia? She had to get a part-time job. At 15. Imagine that, learning what work means. They tried everything to get a hold of me. New social media accounts. New emails. Had friends of friends reach out. Blocked. My lawyer did forward me one letter from Billy. Big, long sob story. How sorry he was. How he was caught in the middle. How he never meant to hurt me. Caught in the middle. Stupid shit. You deleted security footage. You weren't caught in anything. You were an accomplice. 3 weeks later, Avery's lawyer reached out to discuss divorce terms. Tried to argue I'd abandoned the family. That she deserved half of everything plus alimony. My lawyer laughed. Literally laughed on the phone. We had adultery. We had evidence. We had time-stamped documentation. And the kids were old enough that custody wasn't even a factor. She got exactly what the law required. Not a penny more. The house sale went through. After the dust settled and the math was done, she walked away with about $200,000. Sounds like a decent chunk of change, right? Not when you've been a stay-at-home mom for 15 years. No job skills, no degree, and a reputation that's shot to hell. She'll burn through that in under 2 years the way she spends. Extended family drama? Oh, this part was rich. My parents tried to stay neutral at first. There's 2 sides to every story, my mom said. Until my lawyer sent them the file. Photos. Messages. The whole damn truth. My dad called me after. Didn't ask how I was doing. He called to apologize. Apologize for raising a piece of shit son. And to tell me he was writing Colton out of the will. My wife's family tried to come at me on social media. Posted all kinds of garbage. How I was a deadbeat. How I'd abandoned my family. How Avery was the real victim. So, I had my lawyer send out cease and desist letters. With attachments. You know, just a few selected screenshots. Like their sweet little daughter getting railed by her brother-in-law. In what used to be their granddaughter's bed. Yeah, I had screenshots of that, too. Funny thing. People get real quiet when the receipts show up. I'm thriving. The new business venture? Already exceeding projections. Got 3 commercial projects lined up for next year. Solid contracts. High margins. Been hitting the gym hard. Down 20 pounds of fat. Up 10 pounds of muscle. Feel stronger. Clearer. Sharper than I've ever been. Dating? Not yet. But I've had offers. Turns out successful, fit, single men in their late 30s. In demand. Who knew? Bought myself a new truck. Paid in cash. Got a motorcycle too. Always wanted one. But Avery used to say they were too dangerous. Funny. She didn't think screwing Colton was dangerous. I've been seeing a therapist. Not because I'm sad. Or guilty. I'm not. But because I want to make sure I never ignore red flags again. She's helped me realize something I didn't want to admit at first. I wasn't just betrayed by my family. I betrayed myself. By ignoring my instincts. By brushing off the signs. By pretending things were okay when they weren't. For way too long. Where are they now? Last I heard through the grapevine. Avery's living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Working retail. Colton's crashing with friends. Can't find work. Our industry's tight-knit. Everyone knows what he did. His ex-wife took the kids. Moved back with her parents in another state. Billy's working 2 jobs while juggling community college. Mia's babysitting for money. Her grades? In the toilet. Do I feel bad? No. They made their choices. Every single day. For 2 years. They chose to lie to me. To betray me. To mock me behind my back. They thought I was weak. They thought I'd never find out. They thought wrong. The emails. My lawyer forwards me the ones he thinks I should see. They're all the same. Sorry. Forgive us. We need you. Please come back. Avery even claimed she was going to end it. Said she really loved me. Sure. That's why it went on for 2 screwing years. The latest one from Billy included this gem. I understand if you never forgive me, but you're punishing Mom and Mia for my mistakes. No, Junior. I'm not punishing anyone. I'm just not subsidizing your lives anymore. Big difference. The divorce. Finalized 2 months ago. My lawyer said it was the cleanest divorce he's ever handled. Why? Because the evidence was so overwhelming, there was nothing to fight about. No drama. No negotiation. Just signatures and silence. Final settlement. She got $200,000 from the house sale. Minimal alimony for 2 years, state requirement. Nothing I could do about that. No custody battles. The kids are old enough to choose their own mess. I kept the business, the investments, retirement accounts, my piece. She tried one last Hail Mary. Filed a claim for emotional abuse. Judge looked at the evidence file. Looked back at her. Damn near held her in contempt. Turns out judges don't like when serial cheaters try to play victim. Remember my foreman? The guy who bought the majority stake? We're partners now. I'm silent on paper, but I still pull 35% of profits. The best part? The business has grown 40% since I stepped back. Turns out when you're not carrying a family full of dead weight, you've got a lot more time and energy to focus on what matters, making money. Colton tried to start his own competing company. Didn't even last 3 months. Nobody would work with him. No suppliers would give him credit. Reputation matters in this industry. And his is shit. The kids. Got a letter from Mia on her 16th birthday. 2 pages of apologies. Regrets. Promises to make things right. She included a photo of us from when she was little. Sweet move. Nice try. But emotional manipulation doesn't work when you've already checked out. Billy's doing better, apparently. Still in community college. Got promoted to manager at his job. His girlfriend reached out. Brave girl, honestly. Told me he talks about me all the time. That he's in therapy. That he's genuinely remorseful. Good for him. Still don't care. Plot twist. Remember Colton's ex-wife? Yeah, we've been talking. Started off just comparing notes. Swapping timelines, connecting dots, confirming what we both suspected all along. But it turned into something else. Friendship. Now, we'll see. She's moving to my city next month for a fresh start. On her own. Is it messy? Maybe. Do I care? Nope. She told me something I hadn't heard before. Turns out Colton and Avery were waiting. Waiting for my business to hit a certain valuation. So she'd get more in the divorce. They were plotting this for a while. The kids knew. So much for, we never meant to hurt you. I bought a house. Nothing flashy, but it's mine. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, pool out back, and a workshop. A real one, where I can work with my hands. Without someone nagging about the noise or the dust or the time I spend there. Started teaching part-time at the local trade school. Giving back a little. And it's a good way to spot talent. Already got a few promising apprentices lined up. I'll be restarting operations here soon. On my terms. I'm in the best shape of my life. Started boxing. There's something cleansing about hitting a heavy bag. Especially when you imagine certain faces on it. Made a solid crew at the gym. Guys who show up. Who mean what they say. Who've had their own scars, their own losses. Men of integrity. Currently seeing someone. Marketing exec. No kids. Never married. Makes her own money. Doesn't need mine. Refreshing. People still ask me sometimes if I regret going nuclear. If I should have gone to counseling. Tried forgiveness. Kept the family together. Here's my answer. Hell no. They didn't just cheat. They conspired. They plotted. They made me a fool in my own damn home. My kids, who I would have taken a bullet for, looked me in the eye every day and lied. They weren't caught in the middle. They chose sides. They helped their mother betray me. They knew how hard I worked, what I sacrificed, what I gave up for them, and they spit on it. Some men forgive that. Some say, do it for the kids. Maybe those men are better than me, or weaker. Depends how you look at it. Me? I chose myself. For the first time in 19 years. I chose me. And I'm not sorry. 2 weeks ago, out of nowhere, my phone rang. Old number. I forgot I'd even given it to our dentist. It was Avery. Don't know how she got it. Probably begged someone. Or maybe one of the kids passed it along. Doesn't matter. Please, she said, just 5 minutes. I need to tell you something. I almost hung up. Almost. But curiosity got the better of me. So I listened. You destroyed everything, she said. The kids hate me. I can't find a decent job. Your brother won't even talk to me anymore. I lost everything. No, I said. You threw it away. I just stopped picking up after you. Silence. I loved you, she said, voice trembling. I really did. I just got confused for 2 years. Confused. That's the word she went with. I let that one hang in the air. Then finally she asked, are you happy? Was destroying our family worth it? I didn't even hesitate. I didn't destroy our family. You did that when you screwed Colton. I just documented it. Click. Hung up. Blocked the number. Again. Starting over wasn't easy. Not by a long shot. But it was worth it. I could have been the bigger person. Could have forgiven. Could have gone to counseling. Sat in those stiff chairs while some stranger told me how to empathize with the people who stabbed me in the back. I could have pretended the betrayal didn't cut as deep as it did. But why? To save a family that conspired against me? To teach my kids that betrayal has no consequences? To show Colton that he could screw my wife and still keep the job I gave him? No thanks. I chose scorched earth. I chose consequences. I chose to show every single person involved that I'm not the weak, oblivious provider they thought I was. And I'd do it again. In a heartbeat. Life's too short to waste on people who don't deserve you. I don't think I'll ever speak to my kids again. Maybe when they're older. When they've got their own families. Maybe then they'll understand. Or maybe not. Either way, I'll be living my life on my terms. And for those saying I'm bragging or showing off, you're damn right I am. I went from being a cheated-on fool to a free man with a better life. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.